Well, good evening, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to the Build Show. I'm your host on this fine Monday evening, Ben Estrino, over here at the Empower Gaming Studio, and we're here to build a computer for somebody. Actually, I got to send an email. I forgot to do that before I came over here. Agent Smith, welcome back to the Build Show. Lose the glasses. There you go. The glasses are temporarily off. First time, I'm first. Well, welcome back first. You never forget your first time. No, you really don't. But anyway, here we are. Tonight, we're going to be building a PC for Paul. I got to send Paul an email and make sure he knows that we are going live. And thank you, Travis, over on Facebook for the like. I appreciate you. So we got a pretty cool PC to build today. So let's go make sure Paul knows we're live building his PC real quick. All right, I'm going to put the glasses back on so I can write this email. We're back. We're back. All right, Paul knows we're doing the build because I sent the email. So he should know. Okay, so let's go through the build list here, the build out. Everybody can hear me okay? Or is it too loud over here? Music's too loud maybe? A little bit? Yeah, just a little bit less music there. All right, so we're gonna go through the build out and then we're gonna get... Oh, stupid ads, yeah. Well, I did take the glasses off for the record. Everybody on YouTube probably saw that. Agent Smith, you can probably come over to YouTube. There's probably less there. All right, so first off, the CPU we're going to be building for Paul today is going to be a Ryzen 7 7700X. So it's an 8-core processor, 16 threads, maximum boost of 5.4 gigahertz, and it's the AM5 socket 7000 series. So it's a great processor to run, especially if you're doing anything more than just gaming. I mean, even so, it's a great gaming processor as well. So we're going to be running that with a Thermalright AM5 contact frame. This is V2, version 2. I don't know the difference between version 1 and version 2, but that's what it says on the package. It is V2. One day I'll know. I've actually written Thermalright an email and asked them what the difference is, and I haven't gotten a response back. So once I hear back from them, I will let you guys know and share that with everybody, because I've seen this question come up actually several times in a lot of Facebook groups. Is there an actual difference between version 1 and version 2 of these contact frames? I don't know. There's probably something that's slightly different. All right, outside of that, we have our Montech Hyperflow addressable RGB. This is the first time I'm building with a Montech liquid cooler. So any cooler. So we'll see how this goes. But it's very similar to the Thermalright coolers, or pretty much any other cooler. It's pretty much the same design, except this one doesn't have the inline pump. So the pump, I believe, in this one is on the block. All right. So outside of that, we're going to be mounting that to a B650 Gaming X AX V2 motherboard by Gigabyte. It's a great board. It's got several options on the board. Pretty much everything Paul will ever need for this setup, the options are there for him. So if he ever needs to upgrade, etc., it's all there for him. Cool. Right on. So next we have 32 gigs of DDR5, 6000 megahertz CL36, which is two 16 gig sticks, and this is by G.Skill. This is the Flare X5 series. So, you know, not a lot of flare on the RAM itself, but your performance is there for what we're doing with the PC. And then we've got a 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD. This is an Inland TN470, so 7300 megabits, 6100 write, and I believe this one is a TLC drive. Yes, it is a 3D TLC flash, so really quick drive which is probably why I picked it out at Micro Center when I was there picking these parts up, or some of the parts. The Zotac RTX 4070 for the video card, which is the Twin Edge OC. This is a great card. And a 750 watt 80 plus gold power supply. And this is again a power spec power supply. If you're not familiar with the brand, it's actually a Micro Center brand. This is PCIe 5.0 ready and ATX 3.0 ready. So great power supply to start out with, and will allow him some upgradability in the future as well with the unit. So, and oh yeah, what case is this going into? This is going to be going into the Montech 903 Max, or the Montech Air 903 Max. So our typical Montech build out tonight. All right, guys. Without any more furthers of ado, let's get building. Yeah, shall we? Just jump right into it. I know you probably were expecting me over this weekend. We had some unexpected visitors here over the weekend. So I did not get to build stream on Saturday like I wanted to, but it's okay. We are build streaming tonight instead, and then we're going to be build streaming tomorrow, and then we're probably going to be build streaming Wednesday as well. So we've got back to back to back to back to back streams coming up here. So it's going to be a busy week, guys. A busy week. Yeah, that's what happens when all the orders come in at the same time. Everything gets ordered all at the same time. I ended up doing a whole bunch of inventory builds over the weekend, and I didn't stream them because they were kind of at wacky hours, and I really didn't want to bother you guys with weird hours on the stream. So I did 3 builds, or 4 builds. Hey, putting kids to bed, then I'll be back. This is my build, Paul from Brighton. Oh, nice. Welcome, Paul. Welcome. We are doing it right now, live from the Empower Studio over in Lake Orion, Michigan. Let's get a nice zoom here on this motherboard, because we're going to be installing the CPU, the RAM, and the SSD, and any mounting hardware for the cooler. We'll be getting all that taken care of. Yeah, put those kids to bed and get over here and check it out. You can always re-watch, of course, on YouTube if you missed anything. Although, I mean, we're just building a PC. It's not anything super exciting, is it? And if you guys want to join Paul, Paul is over there on YouTube. If you're on another platform, you can come riz him up. That's what the kids say these days, right? Riz. So here's our Ryzen 7 7700X going into the socket. When it's your own, of course. Yeah. yeah, definitely. All right. Watch the beast come to life. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the stock socket, because we're going to replace that with a Thermalright contact frame. It would help if I had the correct. And we're going to replace that with a Thermalright AM5 contact frame. This is not a requirement, by the way. We're barely going to gain any type of benefit from this. This is just because I'm a freak about, you know, keeping things nice and clean. And thermal paste will stay on the top of the CPU with this. Nice and clean. So, it is not a requirement to run this for AM5. I will say, when you go to remove these, definitely wipe it down with alcohol before you try to remove it, because the CPU does like to stick with the paste on it. So you're pulling it up, and then the CPU will drop back into the socket. Not speaking from experience. Hey, what's up, man? Aldra, welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Welcome back, welcome back. Damn, I'm just joined late. Ah, it's not too late, you didn't miss much. You barely missed anything. I unboxed a motherboard and dropped a CPU in the socket and put a contact frame on. Not much to miss there. So the original stock contact frame will be in your parts bag, along with a wrench if you ever need to remove that. Little Allen key wrench. What's the specs? Welcome back to the Build Show Gaming with Ant-Man. The specs on this one is a AMD Ryzen 7 7700X on a B650 by Gigabyte. It's the Gaming AX V2. Gaming X AX V2, and then we have 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 megahertz CL36 with that's the G.Skill Flare X 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe Gen 4 SSD, an RTX 4070 with a 750 watt 80 plus gold power supply, PCIe 5.0 Express, or PCIe 5.0 ready, and then a HyperFlow by Montech, which is a 360 millimeter AIO to cool the CPU, all going in a Montech 903 Max. So, we've got quite the build tonight. We've got some crazier builds coming up as well. Seems like anytime something's impossible to get, everybody comes to me and is like, hey Ben, let's do a build. Let's do the build with the 4090 tonight. And I'm like, oh, well 4090s are impossible to get now. So, we've got a whole bunch of builds with 4090s coming in. And don't ask me what I had to do to get 4090s. Because you don't want to know. You don't want to know what I did. Cool. All right, so now we've got 16 gigs and 16 gigs. That's a total of 32 gigs in total. So 16 in each slot, in A2 and B2. And now we're going to get our 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD installed. I still want to get a 3090. 3090s are good still. Yeah, they're still good cards. Hey, good evening, Army Vet. Welcome back. Are you maintaining that streak since Twitch screwed you last time? What's the GPU for this one? I'm waiting for a 580 build. Well, unfortunately, it was a soft release or a paper release by Intel, so the B580 wasn't available at Micro Center when I was there this weekend. So, no B580s yet. I'm waiting to get my hands on one so I can do a build with it. And I was going to try to do an all Intel build, so, I mean, that makes sense, right? Or should I do an Intel card on an AMD CPU? Come on, would you just let me get the SSD out of this package? I'm gonna Hulk it out. There we go. I hate these security packages that are impossible to open. It's a 4080. This is actually a 4070 going into this build. Today we're going to be building with an RTX 4070 by Zotac. Just for clarification there. All Intel. You want me to do all Intel? Are there many games that even can take advantage of the 4090s? Yes. Really only when you're getting into 4K and up. That's where you start taking advantage of the 4090. But I don't necessarily see a 4090 as like a graphics card for gaming. I see it more so for something like production. That's where it makes more sense. Unless you have the money to just dump into a setup that'll do 4K or 8K, and then a 4090 might make sense. But even so, they are stupid expensive. I did find an open box over at Micro Center, guys, for $1,600, a 4090, and I submitted the order. I don't pay for it until I pick it up, so it's sitting there waiting for me. But it's like the last 4090 in Michigan that's below $2,000. Literally, it's the last RTX 4090 in the entire state of Michigan that I could find. It's open box from Micro Center, which means, you know, if something doesn't work, I just bring it back. So I do have my hands on that if anybody needs one that's not $2,000. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I just grabbed it to grab it at this point because they're impossible to find, and within the next couple of days, if somebody needs one, I have one. I sure as hell don't need it. I'm still running a 3070 Ti, and honestly, it's more than enough for me, so, for what I'm doing. I don't need a 4090. It's too much. It'd be a waste of my system. I mean, literally, all I play is like PUBG. It doesn't take much to run that. I swear, Twitch doesn't want me to have more than 10 in a row. Did it break it? Ah. Yeah, Twitch is fired. Maybe you should move over to YouTube. You know? How long will 4 terabyte M.2 be the gold standard in budget bill? I don't think it's in... I don't think... Oh, how long until it will be the golden standard? I don't know. I mean, 1 terabyte's basically your standard right now. So, I think a 4 terabyte may not become a standard for the next 4+ years. at least. I mean, 2 terabyte maybe next year will become the standard, or the year after. So 26 probably, 2026, 2027, I'd say 2 terabytes is going to become the standard. And then 4 terabyte probably 2028, 27, 28. That'd be my prediction. Oh, we're going to zoom out here real quick, so I'm getting the cooler out at the moment. Just not enough so you can see my feet, because that's weird. I don't want you guys taking any feet pictures. Because I want to get the hardware out, and I've actually never built with this cooler before, so let's, this is the first time I've used the Hyperflow by Montech. I've been wanting to use them, just haven't gotten them yet. This Thermalright is such a good deal. But this was available, so wanted to give it a go. I mean, they're all the same design, honestly. It's pretty much the same thing. How many builds for today? We're just going to be doing the one tonight, but we are going to have back-to-back build streams. So basically a build stream almost every single night this week. So we're going to be streaming quite a bit this week. We've got 4090 builds, and, well, as long as the rest of the parts come in, we can have builds this week. Well, we definitely have one for tomorrow, for sure. And Wednesday. And then based on whether or not all the parts show up for the rest of them. Hey Ben, how did you make your website for Empower Gaming? I built it myself. So long story short is I actually hired a company to build out my website. They could not capture my vision, so I said just forget it. I never asked for my money back, even though they were so bad. I had to do it. I just did it myself. And I had to figure out everything on my own. And I'm still figuring things out, and I'm sure there's like a bazillion things wrong on the website. Like, for example, SEO is probably not as efficient as it should be. Images are probably too big, and I'm probably getting penalized by Google for that, and blah, 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 blah. But I mean, it's up and it's working, and there's traffic, so I'm happy with it as much as I can. When I can afford somebody professionally to go through it, I will hire a real firm to go through and redo it, or a website guy. Okay, so the AMD platform is going to use the stock brackets here, so we don't have any brackets to use from this kit. We're good to go. We're good to send this into the build, or put this into the case. We're good to install the board into the case. I'm going to just take this out anyway right now. Hey, what's up, some giant idiot? 4 terabyte will be the standard when Windows OS takes half a terabyte. Doesn't it already take half a terabyte? No, that's Call of Duty. Sorry. Sorry, that's Call of Duty. Windows takes like 50 gigs or something like, or 100 gigs or something like that, with all the updates and feature updates and packs and things. What did you use to make it? Sadly, I started on GoDaddy, and then shifted GoDaddy to WordPress. I migrated over to WordPress and then did everything through WordPress. Because I realized that the GoDaddy platform was very limited when I started wanting to do crazier things with the website. So I started with something simple, GoDaddy. It was very simple to easy to just build out and manage and maintain, etc. But then when I started wanting to do a lot of customizations to the website, I realized we just needed to go over to WordPress. Because, you know, I have some experience with WordPress prior to this. So I migrated everything over to WordPress, and that's when I hired the firm to really help me kind of speed things up, and they sucked. So they got fired. I ended up just taking over everything and redoing it myself. So really it's just WordPress, and I can't remember. I think it's Beaver Builder is the theme editor that I'm using right now. Beaver Builder. Sounds familiar. It's very expensive. It's stupid expensive. I don't like it. But that's what they started with, and that's what I ended up getting stuck with. And anyway, that's the website. Some giant, I think it's between 80 gigs and like 120 gigs, depending on the version. Yeah, something like that. It's like 100-ish gigs, depending on the version. Yeah, exactly. Damn, 500 gigabytes for an OS. That'll be the day. I mean, it's going to happen. Lethal Wick. We need an ARC B580 build. Dude, Lethal Wick, I went to Micro Center this weekend thinking, okay, they were released on the 13th, so they should definitely be at Micro Center, and there was nothing there. So no B580s from Intel, so it was definitely a paper soft release from Intel, which was very unexciting. But I did go to Micro Center with the intent to buy one on the over the weekend, and there was no B580. So waiting for those to come out so I can actually buy them, even though they've officially been released. So we're waiting on them. And then we will do a ARC B580 build. Yes, we will. And, you know, maybe we'll extend the stream and kind of see what the experience is installing the drivers, etc. Show that off. Micro Centers in the Northeast has been slacking. No B580s anywhere in New York City or Pennsylvania. Yeah, I know. They're just... I'm just like, what's his name? Standing around like, where's all the B580s? You know? I thought we were released them. I thought we had. Thought we did. You know, Intel made this whole thing. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much better than the 4060, and we're going to get them out just before Christmas, and then they're nowhere to be found. It's like Intel's... It's like Intel wrote a terrible joke. Hey, what's up? welcome back to the, or welcome to the Bell Show. Is Trend Micro a good antivirus? I don't know. I never use them. I usually recommend something like WebRoot. I'm a big fan of WebRoot, where you can root out the web. That's a terrible dad joke, I know. I hope Intel is actually selling a lot of B580s. Looks great, and they need it. Yes, they do need it, but at the same time, they need to actually release them so we can buy them. Where do I buy a B580? Where are they? Where are they at? Do you guys know where one is? Because I went to Micro Center, I looked on Newegg, I looked on Amazon, I can't find a damn one. The only one I can find is like $500 right now. And it's stupid. I want the $250 B580 that beats the RTX 4060 so we could do a B580 Intel build. Just so we could give NVIDIA the middle finger. How about that? In Europe, it's going for, yeah, it's going to be more expensive over there. Lethal Wick. It's not even available in the United States right now either. So you're not, we're both in the same boat, quite, you know. Lots of awesome website templates to choose from now. Days, but the moment you want to make a single customization, the wheels blow off the wagon. Yes, that's exactly my experience. Is the firm that I used the website template, and then I found out, you know, anytime I wanted to do like a customization, I broke a whole bunch of crap, and then I had to I just scrapped it all. Thank God we're not Europeans. That was Onra. Oh, hey, what's up? Welcome to the Build Show. And thank you for the follow over there on Twitch. Good evening. Anyway, so we've got our motherboard, our CPU, our RAM, our contact frame, our SSD installed. Now we're ready to get the case out and get this motherboard installed into the case so Paul can go to bed. Hopefully we're not disturbing him too crazily this week. Paul is waiting for us. He's like, man, this build isn't going anywhere. Paul, I just broke your case box. I'm sorry. My thumb just went right through the cardboard. Kidding me. What are these ones, huh? Ugh. Okay, so this is the Montech 903 Max, or the Montech Air 903 Max. Air, meaning mesh. We got a nice mesh panel on the front here. Very nice, that was weird. Very nice mesh panel, lots of airflow. 3 140 millimeter addressable RGB fans included on the front, PWM as well. We also have a rear, not sure if you can see that through the glass, a rear 140 millimeter PWM fan included, along with a PWM and addressable RGB hub on the back. 2 thumb screws, panel slides out. Same thing with the back. It's going to be 2 thumb screws, panel slides to the back, and it releases very easily. Very simple design. And then typical design on the back. Lots of space on the back for additional storage if you want. You can mount storage right here or on the other side. You can also mount 2.5-inch SSDs or hard drives here. I don't know who's using a 2.5-inch hard drive these days in a desktop, but Anyway, you also have a single 3.5 cage here, which will support 2 drives, one on top, one on the bottom. And then we've got lots of space here for the power supply and lots of ventilation also from the bottom, because we can also install 2 120 millimeter fans here on the bottom for intake if we wanted to add more intake. But it will support a 360 millimeter AIO or radiator on the top, which is what we're going to be doing today. So that is your brief kind of tour of the Montech 903 Max. If you haven't had one before, there you had it. You've had one. Robert Fix $3.99 on Amazon won't arrive till next week. Yeah, no, thank you. I'll wait till Micro Center has them for $2.49 and then I'll go buy one. I've got a Micro Center 30 minutes down the street. Lots of awesome website. Yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? Is the B580 really an upgrade from the 4060, or should I? So I guess it would be like a 12%-ish. You know, Gamers Nexus already did a pretty good video on it, but Intel has claimed, and of course, you know, we can't say for sure until we actually get the card in our hands and test it, but claims that it's, you know, anywhere from 10 to 20% better than a 4060. So you could take that with a grain of salt. But I would assume it is better. I mean, it sounds promising based on the hardware and the VRAM. You're getting 12 gigs of VRAM as well versus the 8 on a 4060. That in itself is a benefit. Okay, we have all our studs in place, so we are actually a-okay, good to go. Lining our board up, and then we're going to use our LTT store screwdriver. This, we're really doing a, how many builds can we do with this test? And I think we started at like 150 something, 151 or 152 builds this year is when we started with the screwdriver. So we're good 20-ish, 20 plus, 25 plus builds in, and it's still there, still ratcheting just like it was new. Feels a little looser now, like you could tell there's some wear on it now. But I can officially report back and let you guys know how many builds this screwdriver will survive for. Based on, you know, basic PC building usage. Love the case with room to pop, and yep, 140s definitely. You can definitely rock 140s. We have 140s in here. This is a great case. I really like this one. I like the airflow in this case specifically. A lot of good airflow. You're pretty sure anything over $300 at third-party seller? Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's to get all the early birds, you know. If you really want it, here it is. It's $50 over MSRP. You know, get that extra $50 hit. I'm using a 4 terabyte M.2, 2.5 inch, 1 terabyte hard drive, and a 4 terabyte external hard drive. I'm a data hog. Alright, you can be a data hog. Apparently we're not lined up very well. I didn't realize that. Can't see that one very well. Ben, are the PCs on your website all made by you? Yes. They are all made by me. Some of the pictures may not have been taken by me, but they are all built by me before they go out. I think 2 of them are images, like the Frostfire. That's an image from the web. Only because I just haven't gotten a really good image of it that I've liked when it's been done. And honestly, Frostfire really isn't popular, so I haven't really put a lot of effort into it. But the rest of them, yes, the rest of them are mine. Yes. You gotta learn how to do the Photoshops for that stuff too. But I don't use Photoshop, I use GIMP. Carl! Looking great. Hey, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, we're coming along here. We're building a PC. Sorry, that was a Walking Dead reference, if you guys didn't catch on to that. Alright, so we've got our motherboard installed. Now, we can get all the cables and things. We can, where's my power supply? I think we're going to try to do the EPS cables as well as the case panels. There's this 3.0 or C here, 3.0 here, and then pretty much the rest of it's on the bottom. We have an ARGB header up there, but is there a fan header up there? Fan 1. Yes, okay. I know where everything is. I think I remember. All right. HD audio. Front panel HD audio. Go. Got all that plugged in real nice and quick. Yeah? Did you already have PCs made and images used to start the website, like images of the PCs that you were building or selling? Well, I mean, I've been just building for a long time, so I've got a pretty large library of pictures of PCs that I built. So that's kind of what I started with. That's what you're asking. Next, I want to get okay. Well, looks. Let's see here. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat here. I bought a mouse called Attack Shark 3 X3 for $30 to replace my broken Logitech G Pro. Incredible mouse. Highly recommend. Yeah. I'm actually a Logitech guy myself. How's the baby doing? Well, we're coming along. We've got all our front panel connections in. I'm going to get our EPS cables in up here, and then we're going to start mounting the cooler to the top. We're coming along. We are coming along. That groin hernia, though, is kicking in with a vengeance because I've been on my feet a lot today. Wow. I'm getting the power supply out so I can get our EPS cables. But I just realized one of our EPS cables is on the power supply, so we're going to have to put the power supply in anyway. Fine. Fine, we'll do it backwards. Maybe not backwards for other people, but for me, it's backwards. I usually do the power supply almost last. Don't know why, it's just my style, guys, alright? Don't judge me. I choked that one. Yeah. Yeah. I figured you would. Some people judge me for doing the power supply last. Get judged for a lot of things around here. Hey, some giant idiot, you're not actually judging me because I do the power supply last, are you? Are you one of those guys? This thing only has the one EPS cable? That sucks. Well, well, at least that's done already. Less thing to deal with. Now it's cooler time. Packaging is pretty impressive by Montech. Not gonna lie. Pretty impressive. I would. Why would I do the? I do only do the You do the PSU last. Nice. Hey, now that PC is my actual baby. Oh, I'm taking care of it. Don't worry. I'm taking care of her. What PSU should I get with a 7700X and an RTX 4070 Super? Not try to spend a lot on the PSU. So 750 watts would be more than enough for that build out. We're doing 750 watts, 80 plus gold on this one. And this is a Ryzen 7 7700X with an RTX 4070 non-super. So, but a 750 watt would be more than enough for that build. Yeah, just like some giant idiot said, 750 watt would be, but you want to leave room for upgrades, 850 watts. I'm not planning on upgrading, so I was thinking 750. Yeah, 750 is more than enough for a 4070 Super. But I would recommend getting a PCIe 5.0 and ATX 3.0 ready 750 watt power supply, just in case. I think some of the 4070 Supers require that 16 pin adapter or 12 volt high power connection. I don't know what 4070 Super you're getting, or if it's a, just check the card, see if it's a 8 PCIe, damn it, PCIe 8 or not. Or if it's a 12 plus 4. Back on there. Not ready for you to come off yet. So wonderfully, this is wired up in such a way that I don't have to move the fans. So bravo to you, Montech, for putting the fans on the radiator the correct way. Unlike some people, Thermalright. I feel like I'll need in there, but dang it. Not sure if I'm getting 2 or 3 fan yet. Any advice? I mean, either one's going to be fine. Yeah, it's not that spicy of a card. So, yeah. This thing really wants to expose its thermal paste like crazy. But yeah, I mean, either one's going to work fine. Not that spicy of a card, just like 40 or some giant idiot said. So, it's not like it's going to be super hot, is what we're saying. So a 2 fan card would be just fine. We're actually building with a 2-fan 4070 tonight. Really extremely efficient cards, so not a lot of power, not a lot of heat. The power is what makes the heat. So the more power a card draws, the more heat it's going to have, the more heat that you're going to need to dissipate, which then makes the cooler a bigger, bigger concern. Yeah, the Asus Duel is a solid card. You'll be fine with that. You'll be super happy with it. Yeah, the Asus Duel is a great card. Oh, gaming with Ant-Man. I missed your comment earlier. How's the baby doing? The baby's doing good. She is doing good. Growing every day now at this point. Okay. So the paste is on the back of this cooler that we're just going to use the Montech stuff. But it just clips onto the plastic latches just like some of the old school Leon Lee designs. So it's a Thermalright uses the same mounting design as well. Just clips right onto the plastic clips to the motherboard. Super easy to install for AMD. Super easy. There we have it. Our AIO is mounted and blocked to the CPU. Now we just got to run these cables to their respected locations. There we go. Got all our cables plugged in there. CPU fan and our pump plugged into the right spots. Now really all we got to do is drop a graphics card in here and drop a power supply. Oh wait, we already did that. Drop a graphics card in here, do some cable management, then we get to fire this thing up and see what it looks like. Then I can sit down. When I say sit down, I mean the groin hernia is painful right now. I gotta get this thing fixed, but I can't do it until after this holiday insanity. I've kicked the can down the road, and I think I made the incorrect move there. I should have gotten on it in November when it came about. Tuna's usually here before me. I'm a bit worried. Yeah, I know. He's usually always here. I don't think he knew I was going to stream. I don't think anybody knew. I kind of just was like, I got to get this build done. I was going to do it over the weekend, and here we are. I told Paul that I would have this build done and ready for pickup tomorrow, at latest. So I got to get this thing done. So here we are. Here's our RTX 4070. Yeah, if somebody wants to ping him on the Discord, make sure he's alive. Makes me kind of worry. He and I were chatting earlier today, I feel like, about something. I know he's at least somewhere. PC Part Picker is usually very good with compatibility checker, yeah. Yeah, that's a good place to check for PC compatibility. Asus Dual 4070 Super 7700X DDR5. One thing I will say, Kanye, is make sure that the RAM is on the, and I think I mentioned this before to you, just make sure it's on the QVL list for the motherboard. For example, this kit is on the QVLS for this motherboard specifically. So go to the motherboard's manufacturer support page and look at the QVL list and verify that it does actually support, or it is on the QVL list. There's just a lot of issues with DDR5 right now. Support issues. I mean, most of them now, today, work, but there are still quite a few out there that don't. It'll work. Just know that the smaller board and they're putting a pretty big case would look empty. Well, yeah, it would look empty. What is that, a micro? Yeah, the M board. Yeah, that's the other thing. Good call, some giant idiot. Good call. I don't typically do that unless I absolutely have to, meaning sometimes when I know they're going to be upgrading, and they're trying to do it on a budget. You know, one day I see them going into an ATX motherboard in the future. I might start them on a micro ATX. That's like a very rare scenario. Micro ATX motherboard and then work them up to an ATX later down the road. Starting them out in an ATX case, but like I said, that is a rare scenario. You probably don't really see it here on my channel. I always know I set notifications, yeah. Replace the B650M with a regular ATX B650 if you're going to go with Gigabyte. I would recommend actually this board, which is the B650M Gaming X AX V2. This board I'm actually a really big fan of. Got literally anything you'll need on it for any type of upgrade, including additional M.2 storage slots. I've always just been a big fan of this board. And it's not like super crazy expensive. I mean, I know it's more closer to the 200 range, but it's a great board. Well worth it. There we have it. Paul, I hope you're still here. We're almost ready to fire this thing up. There you go. You can oogle at it for a second while I clean this up. That's what happens when you don't set your camera angle before the stream starts. All right, who's ready to see this thing powered on? Paul, you got to tell me when to push that power button. We are now officially ready and waiting on you to tell me when to push this button. Hey, how's it hanging? What's up? Set, is that set? Set aware? Oh, I can't read it. I'm too blind. And yeah, I see the Gigabyte B650 Eagle AX on US Amazon for 160. Yeah, it's not a bad board. Is that a worse? Is that a worse? Carl's ready. But what about Paul? Go for it. Launch. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. I'm just kidding. Here we go. I had you there for a second, didn't I? Damn, this thing already posted. For a DDR5 board and CPU, it's matured so much. My goodness, out of the box experience posting like 3 or 4 seconds compared to like back when we first started building with DDR5. We'd have like a minute and a half sometimes waiting for RAM training. It has matured so much. It's almost time for another DDR5 video. Anyway, you could answer a Windows question. Sure, yeah. Throw it at me. Hit me. You had me. That's how all my projects go. Yeah, someday, I think once before I actually did that, and then there was really an issue. So it made me look like a bigger idiot. But there we go. We got it built. That's just half of it. Right? Now I got to do the software side of things where I've got to install Windows, do the BIOS updates, make sure all the drivers are installed, and then go through the battle testing phase, and then it'll be ready to go. So I should have this ready to go for you sometime at some point tomorrow. I should have this ready for pickup. We're doing pickup, right? We're not shipping? I can't remember. I have a bunch of orders shipping. I remember that. They're coming through right now. Yeah, this is pickup. Right, you said you were in break. Never mind. Never mind. I knew that. When you come in here, you'll understand why I am the way I am. You'll be like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, hit us. Hit us with the question over there on Twitch. Quickly. Yes, I know. I confirm that you are picking up. There is a method to my madness, I promise. Yeah, she's running nice and cool too. We're at the BIOS already. So, ready to load up Windows and get her on its way, on her way. Yeah, we can rotate this a little bit so you can see the side. That's what the side will look like. I think I like these Montech coolers, guys. They're pretty cool looking. A lot of RGB, but not too much. Okay, so I have a Windows update paused because it seems that the graphics card drivers auto-install through Windows, but I'm using the AMD website for the graphics drivers as recommended. for some reason, even when I have the Windows Update paused, I'm still getting the graphics card driver problem where I have to reinstall it through AMD's website. Any ideas? So you could try to run DDU to confirm that you've removed all AMD drivers and then re-download the driver, and you could set from the DDU tool not to allow Windows updates to download the driver, so then you can download the correct driver from AMD's website. That's what I would do, is run the DDU, which is display driver uninstaller, uninstall all the drivers for the AMD stuff, reboot the PC, make sure you, of course, you set the settings so it doesn't allow Windows updates to download the driver, and then install your new driver, and that should solve any problem that you're having there with that. Hey, what's up, Kenneth? Welcome to the build show, the tail end of it. So I hope that makes sense. You can also join our Discord channel and ask questions there as well. Discord channel can be found, pretty sure, on the YouTube channel, if not on the link tree. Some giant, yeah, I can get a bundle with that for $50 more. I'll do that. Yeah, that sounds really good, Kanye. Kanye. Anything else with the parts you noticed? I don't remember the list. The plus Wi-Fi motherboard. Montech King 95 Pro or something similar, and still finding a PSU and a CPU fan. What are you using for the cooler for the CPU? Yeah, just Google DDU download and you'll find it. It'll be on, can't remember the name of the website, but it's a safe website, or at least popular website. I can't remember the name of. I wish I'd know, or I'd give you a link here, but don't have it up in front of me. And my computer's over there. I could do that for you and drop it in the chat, or you could join the Discord channel and I could drop the links there. But I would say, Kanye West, the CPU cooler, take a look at the Thermalright Frozen Note or the Thermalright Peerless Assassin if you want to go air cooler, or if you want to go liquid. Those are two very good options by Thermalright for the coolers. Both are highly recommended by me and probably everybody here, and probably most of Gamers Nexus fans. 3D Guru is the site. Thank you, chat nerds. Thank you. Couldn't remember the name of the site. So make sure you download that from 3D Guru. But just run the DDU. Make sure you set it so it doesn't allow Windows updates to install the driver, and then it'll reboot the computer, and you should have the ability just to run your downloaded AMD graphics drivers from the AMD's website, and that should solve that problem for you. Let me walk over here and get the link. Hold on. Getting a link. Yeah, it's not a very common problem, so not anymore anyway. Is that happening in Windows 10 then, I'm assuming? Like Ben said, we highly recommend the Thermalright Phantom Assassin or Peerless Assassin CPU. Yeah, either one of those are really good. Such a powerful cooler for a cheap price. Yeah, it's the best cooler you could get for the price. You can't beat it. You just can't. The problem is you can't find the Peerless Assassin anywhere right now, I feel like. I found them on sale and I ordered like five or six of them because I can't get them anywhere. So I'm like, oh, get them. I need to upgrade my motherboard. Oh, for Windows 11? Gotcha. What motherboard are you on? Reddit says usually this happens if your AMD drivers are really out of date. Yeah, that's a possibility. Windows updates it for you. Yeah, and some games will complain about that if that's what's happening. So definitely just run the DDU. It'll ensure that it is a clean removal, and then you'll have a clean install of the drivers, and then it should clean it all up for you. Gamers Next has just put out the best coolers. I know, I haven't seen it. I haven't watched it yet. I did see that they dropped that. I'm sure Thermalright is up there somewhere, right? It's got to be up there. Hey, what's up, Mitch man? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. At least the tail end of it. We're here at the end. Single-handedly driving up the prices by buying them out. Well, I mean, they're always available. Like, since like Gamers Next has started praising them, that's when inventory for Thermalright has been becoming more and more difficult. Because thanks, Gamers Nexus, I love using them, and I know they're great coolers, and I've been using them for a long time. And all of a sudden now there's inventory issues everywhere. Oh yeah, for sure. Big vacuum now. Deep Cool's gone. Yeah, and Deep Cool. Well, I mean, it's been like that for a while, but you know, over the year, it hasn't been super crazy until Gamers Nexus started like really praising Thermalright. So it's now I can see I can't find a Peerless Assassin anywhere that's cheap, you know, within reason, which is the whole point of buying it. Kenneth, the Indiana Jones game is running great on my PC. Thanks again, man. Yeah, no problem, man. I'm glad you get to enjoy it. My AIM-5 build is running fine with memory at 6,000. Nice. So you got your... did you set that manually, Mitch, man, or did you run the AMD Expo or XMP profile? I can't remember what RAM you had in it. It's a mini? I don't know what that means. Is it like a... What does that mean? Like an ITX? Expo. Gotcha. Nice. Yeah, that'll do good. PSU he was asking about earlier, some giant idiot, and we were recommending 750 watts, 80 plus gold. Is, you know, that'll do good for that system, especially if he's not upgrading, which he said he wasn't. SSD depends on what he's doing, but definitely a Gen 4 SSD to take advantage of that CPU. You know, you can grab the Phantom Spirit. It's a bit more expensive, like $7. Yeah, I know, but does have the 7 heat pipes. Yeah, that's true. If you want to if you had to use a replaceable 120, yeah. So the Phantom is a good option, but those are also becoming scarce all of a sudden. So yes, both are great options. Both are getting very difficult to get. Micro Center actually started carrying the Phantom Spirit, so, which was cool to see. I was like, nice. In case I need one like today, I can just drive one of them. I mean, they're not in stock right now because everything Thermalright is gone except for their AIOs. I liked how also, oh yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to try was a Thermalright AIO with the screen that they just released. I can't, man, today's not a good day. I can't remember shit. Can't remember the name of it, but Thermalright released it a little while ago this year, and it's finally now in the United States, more available in the United States, and I wanted to get my hands on one and play around with it. But they have the screen on the block now, which looked kind of cool. I just want to, you know, see what it's like, see what the software is like, really. Yes, highly recommend to watch the YouTube video as well. A YouTube video will walk you through it pretty quickly. It's only a couple of steps, but if you drop into the Discord, if you have any questions while you're doing it, feel free to ask questions there in the Discord, and I will try to help you, as well as there's many other people there as well. Took me 3 tries to get the stable AM5 build, and finally did. Nice. When you say stable, were you struggling with the Expo? The memory speeds? Was it blue screening on you? I'm assuming also that you got the BIOS updated, right? Because that also helps tremendously with AM5, DDR5 builds. Having a more recent version. The drivers aren't going to blow up the graphics card. It's not going to do it. It's just going to perform poorly for you. Really, that's all. That's the only thing that it'll do. So, at least running the DDU and getting that step process completed, then we'll know for sure that you are getting a clean installation, and that will remove any possibility that Windows has a faulty driver in place. Hey Josh, over on the YouTube, thanks for the sub. I didn't catch that earlier. And Casey over on Facebook, thank you for the like as well. The first motherboard would not boot. The second motherboard would randomly reboot. I always update my BIOS. Yeah, I figured you did. That's why I said I assume. But I can only assume over here. Oh. Does Windows 11 just do it through Windows now? Oh, you mean upgrading from 10 to 11? Yeah, it'll do it through Windows Update if you tell it to. You can. I don't think that's the cleanest way to get Windows 11, in my opinion, but you can do it that way. Like, you'll have to do a cleanup afterwards. Sometimes it likes to hold a bunch of extra storage. If you have a small storage, you know, like a 128 gig drive. Likes to hold on to some storage for Windows in case you want to revert back to Windows 10. No, I mean drivers. Yeah, I mean any Windows does that. I think that's been a thing since Windows XP, downloading drivers through Windows updates. And it's never done it perfectly or right. Also, you're running Windows 10 Pro. Nice. Yeah. That's good. I'm still running Windows 10 Pro. Yeah, it's not the best, as there will be windows.old file with all the Windows 10 files, yeah. It's not the cleanest way to do it, but that is an option. You can do it that way. And there is some command line commands that you can run to clean it up, to get rid of all the old crap that's in there. But like I said, it's not the cleanest way to do it. The cleanest way to do it is just reinstall from a thumb drive, or create the installation media from a thumb drive, plug it into the back of the computer, boot off the USB drive, reinstall Windows. And of course, before you do that, always make sure you back up everything that's important on the PC so you don't accidentally format the drive and delete everything on there. Damn, I have to step out for a call. Don't make it back in time. Good nights. Yeah, good night to you, Some Giant Idiot, as well. Thank you for hanging out for the evening. Yeah, I always prefer to do a clean reinstall too. If I have to install Windows, it's just gonna be clean. Or I'll just buy another drive, you know, and then, you know, reinstall on that drive, and then take my time figuring it all out if I have to. But that way, you know, I know for sure I have all my stuff on the other drive, and if I have to, I can just plug it back in and boot from that. You know? If I have to. And definitely more so a thing that I do now because I have all my stream stuff, you know, on this PC, and it's like just thinking about having to reinstall all this crap that's on my PC right now. It's just, I don't even want to think about it. I will have probably some sort of malfunction in my head if I have to go through that process. Which, you know, I keep talking about, hey, I'm going to upgrade my build and do a better PC, and I want to, but I don't want to do the work. I had the opportunity to switch to Windows 11 before they made it a requirement to have certain motherboards, but I didn't want to do it. Yeah. Time for a NAS then. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't even have something backing, like I don't have anything like creating a clone or a backup locally. I have OneDrive for all the important stuff, so I could get everything important back, but you know, I don't have anything that's like creating a clone if I ever have to restore. I'm terrible. I tell people to do that, but then I don't do it myself. What? It's more so because I can work through it versus somebody that likes to have the one-click restore option. Oh, you're running a mini as well? Nice. I don't know that I'm running... Am I running a mini? I'm not running a mini motherboard. I'm running a... it's called a B... It's a B550. I think it's an ASRock Steel Legend right now. Still at AM4. Best way to quickly clean dust from the inside of the existing PC case: compressed air. Compressed air is expensive. It's like $10 a can. My advice is, you know, over the course of time, if you clean your computer, like let's say 3 or 4 times a year, within 1 year, if you invest in one of these guys, hold on. Invest in one of these. They're like 40 to 50 bucks on Amazon. They blow like a miniature leaf blower. Well worth it, because you could clean more than just the PC. Crap, I just kicked up a bunch of dust. Anyway, I'll blow yours out, don't worry. But you could do more than just clean the PC. You can clean a keyboard, you could clean a mouse, your desk, the computer, other appliances throughout the house. I mean, there's a lot of use case scenarios for it, so it's definitely worth its value at $50 versus buying a canned air every time you clean your computer. You're probably going to use 1 or 2, and that's bless me, $20. You're spending $20 on 2 cans of air, or 2 cans of canned air. So there's that dust. I blew it right off the monitors over there. Yeah, if you want to bring the PC, Paul, here when you come pick up, we could just blow it out real quick for you. Take like 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe 15. Kanye West, any case comparable, look-alike, the King 95 Pro? Sold out everywhere near me and online. They were on Amazon. Like 160 bucks, but they were on Amazon. Lookalikes would be, I'd say join the Discord channel. And I could drop you some links if you ask the question in Discord. Modtech Sky 2 is close, but it's not quite the same. It's not like the full dual chamber case, kind of like the 011 Dynamic. Let me go look real quick. I saw one the other day. Oh, dang it. I didn't know you were in Canada. I don't know if that link's going to send or not. Anyway, there's one that's... So this wouldn't even matter anyway. There's one on Amazon that has a pretty good price, or it's interesting. Yeah, it's not going to let me send this link. Too big. I'd have to shorten it. Sounds good. Thanks. Fun to watch the build. I'll stop later this week to pick it up. Good night. All right, Paul. Have a good night, sir. Canada, eh? Thanks, Army Vet. Yeah, Kanye West over on YouTube is from Canada. Also, I joined the Discord. What channel should I ask these in? You could probably just ask in the general. So yeah, join there. We'll figure out a case. It's like Game Max or something like that, and it's over on Amazon. I'll drop you a link so you have it, or at least a screenshot. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the stream here actually tonight. We are going to be probably building again tomorrow, so join us tomorrow night for another build, and yeah, we're gonna have back-to-back streams until probably Christmas. So here we go. The madness starts again, just like last year. All right, guys. You guys have a good night. We'll see you on the next one. And I'll see you over on Discord, Kanye. Army Vet, have a good night. Later, bro. Thanks for the help. Yeah, no problem. Good luck with that. Let me know if you need any help in the Discord with that. We'll see you guys